Victor Wembanyama may be the most unique offensive tool that basketball has ever seen for a rookie, but what seems to be most impressive is what he brings to the table on the defensive end. Wemby has shown flashes of being a dominant force on the defensive end of the court, and because he's listed at 7'4" with an insane 8-foot wingspan, players are simply afraid to shoot anywhere near him, and his presence alone can break up a play. Here, what seemed to be an easy transition layup, Wemby's presence from behind made this player pass up an open layup to a trailing teammate who instantly made the business decision to not attempt a shot inside, only to kick it out for a low percentage three-pointer in transition. And he's like the Deion Sanders of centers, because no one wants to go up on him. And he's constantly making offensive players rethink or adjust their decisions. Here, Mike Conley throws this lob to the heavens because of Wemby's freakish wingspan. And because of that wingspan, that makes him a great helper specifically as a rim protector. And he's currently third in the league in total blocks because he has such a good nose for the ball. Here, he pounces to the ball as soon as he sees there was no recovery and breaks up this dunk. His timing to these help side blocks are very natural as well. He peels off from his man as soon as Zubac makes his move and uses that wingspan to clip the ball over the top. And even if he can't get it cleanly, he can add resistance on the help side when needed. The Spurs use him almost like a free safety. A lot of times he's matched up with the opposing teams as a non-scorer, so he can provide help to the other personnel on the floor. And he's a crazy threat at this position because if there's any breakdown in the defense, he can go and clean up the scene. He's got incredible help defense instincts as well. He sees his teammate gets beat off the screen and instantly flies to plug the drive. And at 7'4", this kind of quick lateral movement to the scene is very guard-esque. He plants that foot at the same time as his teammate Trae Jones and actually beats him to the spot. And because of his freakish physical tools, even if he helps too hard, he can not only recover and contest, but block the shot. He goes from the paint to the perimeter in a step and a half to get to the shot in the air, and his recovery time to shots is out of this world. He can get hit with a move and flies into the air to contest and affect any shot. On ball, he's been solid at containing offensive players. He can keep them in front, and as long as he keeps his hands up and slides, he can engulf almost any drive to the basket. This play was the most impressive to me. He starts on the ball guarding Kawhi Leonard, and Wemby gets that leg over the screen and uses his length to disrupt the dribble, then uses his length again to cause a tough pass. Then the defensive instinct to immediately rotate to the corner on the scramble and closes out under control, then stays with Westbrook on the drive to finally erase the shot to close out the possession. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a 7'4" 19-year-old who still has plenty of years to get even better. And he's put together some impressive defensive possessions. The ball is kicked up quickly and he's able to contain RJ Barrett and stays with him on the drive, then immediately helps under the basket to force a kick out before the play was interrupted. In transition, he gets back and defends this attack at the basket without fouling, then quickly gets back into the play to plug up this drive, then rotates before the play is interrupted once again. Then here versus Minnesota, he quickly pounces to the ball to plug up this drive, which forces an awkward pass to the corner. Then he swiftly closes out to the corner containing the drive. Then he rotates to cover the pick and roll, only for Mike Conley to get bailed out with a slight bump foul, and even he had to laugh about it. These possessions show the versatility, natural instinct, IQ, and nimbleness of Wembanyama. And defensively, as long as he can keep his hands straight up, he can basically contain almost any offensive player. But there is some glaring problems that Wemby possesses defensively. The biggest of all is falling for pump fakes. He's super prone to jumping at any and every pump fake, so this makes him prone to getting easy fouls when not needed. I feel like he sometimes falls in love with the block instead of keeping his hands up to contest, and if he's falling for pump fakes on the perimeter, this pulls the Spurs' best rim protector out of the play, which can lead to easy points. he sometimes struggles with his feet. Despite him being incredibly nimble for his height, at times he can be off balance, making it hard for him to stay in the play. Quick moves in space like this can give him trouble, as it's hard for him to move laterally to stay in front, and he can get burned if a player is moving too fast, causing him to be off balance, and it's hard for him to recover his balance as he's still young and getting used to his height playing at this speed. He suffers from casual mental mistakes. He misses the shot and doesn't notice that he has two teammates who are already matched up in transition, which leads to an easy transition layup. Same thing here. He fails to realize that everyone else is matched up defensively except for him, but gets bailed out with a miss. These mental errors are broad. This drive happens straight down the middle in front of him, and he doesn't even react to help. Then he basically takes this play off as he watches Kawhi score an and one like he isn't his team's best rim protector. There's a lot of instances where he either fails to rebound or flat out doesn't rebound. He's currently averaging 9.1 rebounds a game, but for his height and physical tools, I think that's a bit too low. Sometimes he watches as the ball needs to be rebounded, and I wonder if that's because he feels that he's a guard. I think that he should apply himself a little more to rebounding. Here, he just flat out takes off when the shot goes up, and when he does rebound, he has the ability to push the ball to get into his offense, which could open up even more doors for him as a threat offensively. Despite those problems defensively, he's already one of the league's most dominant defensive forces. He's shown glimpses of being a generational defensive ace, and statistics show that opposing players are shooting 8% worse inside of 6 feet with Wemby in the area. And the amount of shot attempts that Wemby contests is on the low end simply because players are afraid to shoot the ball in his proximity. It will be interesting to see the growth of Wemby on both sides of the ball, but there seems to be early evidence that he could potentially be an unstoppable defensive force for years to come. And that may be where he will leave his biggest mark as a player.